Reverend Rob Lee. Bold, smart, and straight to the point. This is Tarot with an Attitude.
Good evening and welcome to Tarot with an Attitude. I am your host, the Reverend Rob Lee. Wow, banger. Okay, what a great Friday evening. Been raining here most of the day, but we are still happy saying, thank God it's Friday. Yes, that's what we're doing. That song is ringing true now and everything that it was meant to be. Thank God it's Friday. Glad it's here and glad you are here with me. All right, little housekeeping. June 29th, for those of you that are in the New England area, might be in the New England area, June 29th, off CABOT has asked me to come back and do another in-person live reading on June 29th. It's from 5 to 8. Doors open at 5. Show starts at 6. So down in the description below, you will see in my link tree and standing right there by itself is how you can purchase tickets. Now, we will not be broadcasting the show live, all right? However, we will be recording it and we'll show it to everybody later. So that's what's going on. I want everybody to be there and be a part. So I'd love to see some of my tribe members there. But I also know I'm in New England and a lot of you are not. All right. But if you're thinking about taking a trip, it's a beautiful time of year. Spring has sprung in New Hampshire, and this is going to be awesome. It's very, very pretty. Let's get this party started with right out of the gate, our most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, the Divine Mother, that Divine Feminine. Thank you for everything that you have supplied us with universe, with energy, with love, with caring. Thank you for the angels that you send to protect us. Thank you for the spirit guides that come to us and speak to us. May we open our ears and hear it tonight. May your message flow through me. I don't want my message to come through. I want your message to come through. Keep my mind open and in tune. With all that being said, so mote it be. All right, here we go. Let's see who's in here. Let's see what's happening. Oh, everybody coming in. Glad to see the doors busted open. Deborah, glad to see you. Sierra and Dell, great to see you. You know, and Miss Cynthia, love Cynthia. And thank you. Love everybody. You know, we're going to get going. Hey, guess what? Guess who's popped in? I've been thinking about you. You have been on my mind. Here we go with Miss LaKenya. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing better. How you doing?
I am good. I missed you over the past couple of shows and wondered what happened, if everything was okay or whatnot. So I sent you a prayer or two. All right. But glad you're here. What's happening?
Well, I'm at the new location, but I just feel like something gonna shift again.
Okay.
And I don't know. I just would like a reading. I don't want to. Just want to hear what this.
Let's just go right there. So LaKenya is just asking for a general reading. She doesn't want to feed into it. Doesn't want me to misinterpret. And I really like that. People don't think it causes me a problem. So Spirit, LaKenya is here. We're going to bring this up. Okay. So there's our tree of life, things like that. LaKenya's got some things going on and wants to know, Spirit, what you have to say about it. Give her some direction, give her some guidance, let her know what's going on. So here we go. LaKenya, great to see you, man. I have missed you. All right. We have the 5 of Swords. All right. Now, I'm going to move on here. That 5 of Swords is that win the battle, lose the war. Okay. This is something that talks about a conflict, especially upstairs in the mental department. Okay. Some really heavy angst things going on. And actually, the 5 of Swords is there to remind you, don't lose your ethics or your standing in whatever this drama that's going on is. Mm-hmm. It's real, and it could be leading you to take a shortcut. Do not do that. You remain above the situation, okay? Because The Five of Swords is just that to me. When I look at the Five of Swords, it immediately says I can win the battle, but lose the overall war because I took shortcuts, hurt people that didn't need to be hurt, or even myself in the long. That making sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, 7 of Wands. What Spirit is saying here? There is something going on that you are going to need and want to defend yourself with. Okay. There's something happening. You're going to need to stand your ground. All right. And this is about your fire, that passion. The Wands is about creating something. So mentally, don't overrun it. Don't charge. Look, our guy's sitting here. Battle's been done. Take a look and assess. Sevens are always about assessing. All right.
Okay.
But it might be, I want you to be careful. Okay. What I'm hearing is there is something that you may try to blindside you. Okay.
Okay.
And a lot of these, the 7 of Wands, when you look at them throughout other decks, you will see, okay, that they've had to turn around to defend themselves. So it might be something coming at your backside. All right. So just be aware. All right. Now, notice he's in a defensive posture. All right. In this card, it doesn't say go kill anybody that has and slay them and open them up. That used to be my old habits. You know, you want a piece of this? Okay. Guess what? And when you jump into something like that with somebody like me at a young age, doesn't know better, okay, that doesn't embarrass, isn't afraid of being in public, it could be some ugly scenes, okay? Because at that point, I don't care, all right? So I've learned about that. There's nothing wrong with defending yourself, but without going on the attack, all right? That's really important is what I'm getting, okay? 3 of Cups. All right. There are people and friends that you work with. Yeah, that's that card that have your back. Okay. They are. So somebody might be telling you something's going on or you're getting wind. If there's somebody you really trust, you care about, you love, you really value their opinion. Okay. They're not trying to stir up crap. Okay. They're literally looking out for you and telling you to be careful. Has somebody told you here recently, hey, you need to watch out a little bit?
Someone told me that the boss called and asked questions about me. And she was like, I gave her such a good report. She said, I just want to let you know that, don't say nothing. I was like, okay.
There we go. So that's that conflict. There could be some things going on. Okay. If it comes back to you or somebody says something bad, don't go on the attack. Wait for the boss and then handle it in that professional manner that you have. Other people know the truth and they have your back. Okay. So you need to rest on that you don't have to take all this action. Let things go. When an investigation happens or when they looks into something, other people are going to be able to go, not her. Okay. You might want to look over here. Okay. So take that to heart and realize, okay, Spirit and your friends, they have your back. Something in this may come to an end. Not saying you don't need to fear anything. Okay. But in this, it might seem like, oh, everything's going to be bad. It's going to turn out okay. All right. Look at the time here. Everything, there's all kinds of stuff. But we have this beautiful skull laid out. Okay. And what this is saying is new things are coming too. Okay. But something's going on, kind of shaking up the system around you. Okay. And that's what's happening. So be ready for some shifts, some changes, and whatnot. Is any of this making sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Jumped on.
What's that?
I said that's why I jumped on here.
Well,
I was
good.
What's going on?
Yeah, Page of Swords. All right. So we're going to look at this at another angle. Page of Swords. Now, remember, we're back to that mental aspect of mind. Be strategic. I want you to look at what's going on. If you feel something's happening, I want you to start keeping a journal. So you have times, if it's not written down, It didn't happen. Okay. So if something happens and presents itself, it's time for you to start keeping a journal on all of these activities and what's going on. You don't know when you're going to need it. Hopefully, you never need it. Okay. But this page is all about being smart. We got a page with a sword here. Okay. So young, trying to make sure they understand what's going on, but they are prepared to defend themselves. Okay. But use knowledge, use your wit, use that, okay, lay back, let things happen, and things will present themselves. We have the 10 of cups. This is all going to be okay. Okay. Happiness, joy is going to ensue. Things are going to happen. The things that you're looking for are going to come to pass, and it's going to be all right. All right. And going through this is going to help it even feel more all right because of what you did to get through it. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 10, this is coming to an end. All right. That's what that 10, this little session or whatnot, and happiness and joy await. So you're going to be okay. Your emotions are going to be good. Things are going to happen, and you're going to be able to come through this really cool. 4 of Wands. All right. Loving picture, things like this. Always get these things with you at work. Okay. 4 of Wands. All right. Is about building that solid base. All right. 4 of Wands is that fire, that passion. This is not cups. Okay. This is showing something to be passionate about. And a lot of times, passionate can be a one-time thing, and it's awesome. Okay.
Okay.
This is more, it's okay. If something happens, go with it. Don't expect any more than what's there because you have to build a solid base around what you're trying to complete. Okay. Make sure that you have that. We're going to go from there. And look here, we have the star. When it gets kind of confusing and you don't know what to do, I want you to go back to your spiritual self.
Mhm.
Pray for the people that might be trying to do something. All right. Just like we would tell people in the big book of AA, it's to pray for people that have done you wrong.
Yeah.
This is how you shift your attitude, shift your mindset. Look up, look to the heavens, look to that higher consciousness, look to the goddess of whatever your higher power is. They're wanting to make sure you heal right. They're wanting to make sure you get through this, and they're going to give you the direction. Keep all the emotions out of it. Okay. Think,
Okay.
think about everything that's going on here. We have the Ace of Cups. Now, this very well could mean the start of a new relationship. Okay. It's the overall concept of your subconscious. All right. And new things beginning. That ace is new. The cups being filled up. Look, we have this beautiful bird of peace coming out of it. I haven't used this deck in a while. All right. And it's ironic. You're my first person in here. And normally, instead of flowing over with water, now this time it's flowing with the peace stuff. Things are going to be all right. Okay. You're going to come through this, and all of this is going to be okay. Ultimately, 7 of coins. Sit back, give thanks, observe. All right. If you need to defend yourself, don't blindly defend yourself against something that you don't know what's going on. Be very observant in your real world. Okay. Look at what's going on. Give thanks for the good things so you don't get caught into the bad things. Okay. Is that making sense? Then
Yes.
once you see where you need to go to grow, to build, or whatnot, the 7 of coins is saying, sit, be still. Listen to me. Listen to the guides. Listen to my angels. I'm put a hedge of protection around you. All right. But you got to listen. And a hedge can be bored through. All right. And a lot of times the spirit will put a hedge of protection around us. And we're like, oh, hell no. Okay. And I'm taking care of this myself. Okay. And we left our protection, stuck in the woods. Okay. So that's very important. That's what's going on. That's what I see happening here. That's what I've got. And, so what do you think? How does that relate?
That relates. I mean, spot on. That was things
Okay.
that I was going through. I was outside like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that right before I got on. And so I'm thinking Spirit told me, no, take it out of my hands and just know that it is because I didn't realize when the lady was telling me that she was defending, or I didn't know nothing was going on. So now that
Right.
I listened, that's probably why she was telling me that.
Yeah.
The
Somebody's asking questions. She's got
Mhm.
your back, let you
Yeah.
know. Okay. And just understand, even what I'm picking up here too is in the boss is doing their job. I don't think he's on a witch hunt or she's on a witch hunt. I don't know which one it may be. Okay. But somebody may have said something about you. Okay. Because you always have, what I'm picking up, you're being rewarded for always taking the right path. All right. And when you take that path, sometimes it sucks. It's alone on that path. It's not getting mixed up with people we don't need to get mixed up with. It's all that kind of stuff. And you're like, they're having so much fun on the other path, But you
Yeah.
know what? It pays off in the end. Okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's what I want you to see. Move slow, observe, observe, observe. Keep your emotions out of it. Emotionally, this is all going to come to an end and you're going to come out the winner for it. Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Yes.
welcome. You're welcome. And
But
now,
listen,
what I want you to do
everybody.
is manifest that by not just thinking about it, but
Okay.
just talk out loud to Spirit. Hey, Spirit, Reverend Rob gave me this. This is what I need to do, and I need you to help me do it. Okay. And I want
Okay.
to see this as this is just something I got to go through. All right. What's
Okay.
waiting for me on the other side? I can't wait to see what blessings you're going to give me. Okay.
Okay.
That's manifesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you, Reverend Rob.
You are welcome. Bangerang. I'm so glad to see you. All right.
You too. Okay.
All right. You take care. All
You
right.
too.
All right. Bye bye. All right. Here we go. So while we're doing that, wow, a lot of things happening. That was cool. Things happen in our lives and that are important. Things that are happening in our jobs that are important, and we need to be aware. And Spirit is right there to help you through them one way or the other. So thank you for letting me be a part and deliver Spirit's message and for us to understand. I don't know if I said this or not. Yes, I did. I know I said it. I talked about the upcoming show in Massachusetts. Now, also, they've asked me to come back a third time already in the week of Halloween. So I'm going to be doing things in and around Salem. All up to that point, I'm going to be doing things there. And then on Halloween, I forget what date, but it's in the week of Halloween. I will be doing some stuff there. Okay. We'll be doing another live show. Wow. Okay. All right, Miss Donna, here we go. Our Miss Cynthia. I see you lurking down there. There we are. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome. And you know what? The Rolling Stones.
I
I
love
was
them.
I was humming the Requiem for the Devil or whatever. I know there's an
Yeah,
actual proper name for it. I was actually kind of singing some of that because there's a lot of truth in that song.
that's a
Okay.
concert T-shirt from the Zip Code tour. I went with my daughter. Lord, probably 8 years ago.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
I've seen them a
See
lot. They're
you're
cool.
a great mom. You went to a Rolling Stones concert.
Oh, I've been to Metallica. I've been to Aerosmith. Yeah,
Yeah.
all those.
Yeah, and you know what? I got to go see Jerry Falwell with my dad.
Yeah, I stop at Marilyn Manson. I can't do that.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
no.
I did let
Okay.
my oldest boy go at like 14 or 15 with his to a Dead concert with a guy he was working with. Because I just knew I'm like, that's gonna be something he'll remember for the rest of his life.
Oh, I wish I could have gone.
Oh man, yeah. So that's it. So when you think you're not a cool parent, you are. All
Oh, we
right.
love our concert season.
Okay, there we go. Miss Cynthia, what can I do for you this evening?
Okay. All right. I'm going to try to be short because this goes way back. Every
Okay.
4 or 5 years, I start feeling a little abandonment issue.
Okay.
I was adopted at 36 hours old
Okay.
to a family that should have never been able to adopt a child.
Okay.
Okay. My birth mother, the story was she was very young, had an affair with her boss, got pregnant. He's established, married, couldn't take care of me, so she put me up for adoption. Okay,
Okay.
that's cool, right? I mean, that happens all the time. Well, as I got older and I did a little bit of research, I realized that she got pregnant at 32.
Okay.
Okay. It was a closed adoption in the 60s in Tennessee. So it's very hard to find any documentation on it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
found that she had me. My name, her name is Deborah Hurt. She had me. I was baby Hurt, and I found a marriage picture, and that's it.
Okay.
So ever since then, I have not really felt like I fit in anywhere. I can't find my group. I can't find my peeps. And I don't think about it a lot, but like I said, every few years it'll sneak in and make me feel like doo doo.
I got you. I
Okay,
got you. That makes sense. And it actually makes psychological sense. So it's something we got to get control of and
right.
make sure we're understanding what's happening with that and why. Is there an event that triggers this, or is
No,
this okay? It's
no.
just
Oh, and
one of
I
those
want to
things.
tell you too, as soon as I got backstage, I got extremely nauseous. I thought I
Okay.
was going to have to leave. So it's like, you're going to
Gotcha.
tell me something somebody doesn't want me to know.
Okay. All right.
Just FYI. But
All
no,
right.
there's nothing triggers it. No.
All right. So now, so is it a feeling of you just don't belong? I'm going to pull some cards, okay? Because remember, you got us, okay?
Yeah.
You can be in our tribe anytime, and we already think you
Thank
are.
you.
You're
I
family,
feel part of the tribe.
okay? You are family. So, yeah. And if we, what we'll do is, if you don't mind, at the end, we'll say a quick prayer and have the
That's
angels
great.
wrap their wings around you, okay?
Thank you.
No
Yes.
problem. Let's do this. So, Cynthia's dealing, we've been talking through this. I'm just going to go through here. Spirit already knows temperance. Okay. In everything, there's balance. So, when you say I don't belong or things like this, what Spirit is trying to say is stop and look at the good. All right. Everything wasn't horrible. Okay.
Oh,
Look at the good for now. Are you happy where you're at now, where you've come
yes.
to? All right. A lot of times we allow our past to play such a role in our present. It really messes us up. Okay. And the temperance card reminds us yes, our past was important. Everything in our memory, our life is written in those past thoughts. It's programmed in. All right. But today is what we're working on for tomorrow, for today. Okay. Is that making sense?
Absolutely.
All right. So Spirit is saying right here, and in the 14, we have the one, we have new beginning, new starts, the individual, and 4, building a solid base. Okay. Building that pedestal where you know you're solid. And what I'm getting here, picking up when I'm doing these numbers, 1 and 4 make 5 conflict. But with conflict comes great creativity. Okay.
Okay.
Different things that happen. And look, you've been through some crap. All right. And right, wrong, or indifference, this is where you're at. And now you're happy. Okay. So when these things start to overcome you, what you need to do is start a new trigger. Okay. A process by which you are physically changing your mindset. We've allowed these things to come in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What I'd like you to do is start doing a journal. Okay. About what you're doing or thinking when these thoughts hit. Okay. Because it could be something that's triggering them for you to emotionally detach. Okay. or something, and this is the way you've allowed yourself to do it. And this is one of those things where we've trained our brain, or we haven't trained our brain, and it pops in and we're like, oh crap. And we're reacting to that. Remember I was talking the other night about reacting versus responding in
Yes.
one of the other videos, right? We do the same thing to our own thought patterns, our own thought process. We react to them when when our brain just vomits up old memories that are traumatic or whatnot. Okay. We react to them. Once you have it, now it's time you can start responding to them. Okay. And
Okay.
remember the balance card. Well, that's my past. It didn't. I've got kids. I've got my grandkids. Where do you want to land? Okay. This is a moment of gratitude. Okay. To help you through that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The death card. All right. And this is the Baroque tarot, everybody. The Baroque tarot. All right.
It's pretty.
We talked about the death card a little bit. You know what? You let the past go. The past is dead. You can't change anything about it. Okay. All you can do is grow. And that's what this card is all about. That's what Spirit is saying is we stop growing when we start focusing on, oh, I don't belong. Those negative thoughts. What is trying to go? I know you're wanting to do something with some of your gifts and things like that. These are things that will hold you back. So remember in death, you know what? We say a prayer at a funeral. Have a funeral for everything that doesn't happen and say, you know what? My husband loves me. My kids love me. My grandkids love me. That's the only real click you need to worry about.
Yep.
Okay. And
Yes.
realize that and say, okay, I'm in my new spot. I'm in the base. Okay. And 13, think about that, is generally a standalone number. It's not an add up number. Okay. But I like to do this anyways because it draws a very good picture. The 1 and the 3 come together for a 4. And what do we say where you're at? This is the reminder that you're not there anymore. You're not the same person you were. Okay. So go outside. My daughter used to cringe because I'd say, I'm going to run naked through the sprinklers in the front yard. You know what? And run naked in the sprinklers wherever you're not going to get arrested, or the children calling the cops on you. Okay.
Okay.
Remember who you are, where you have, what you've got, the specialty that is yours. This is very important. We have the Knight of Coins. And what I get from this Knight is we're taking too much time. We have the moon, okay, that's highlighting things. And you've got to figure out what's going on when certain things get highlighted that make you stare at the past and you're trying to fight with the past rather than the future. Okay. So there is something that happens with these triggers that either it's a thought, something you saw, something that you've experienced, all right, is triggering you and you're still doing battle with it. Okay. This is the purpose of what Spirit is saying. I've sent you angels. I'm going to wrap my guides around you. Okay. Stop listening to that and listen to them. Listen to the song that the angels sing. Step outside. Listen to the birds. Listen to the spiritual music that God has placed around you. All right. To be able to deal with this and find a way to move forward. There are a lot of people, we have the 10 of Swords. What I'm hearing here, what this has got is that feeling of betrayal. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay. So that's very strong, right?
All through my life. Yes.
Okay. But that's now over. Okay. You get to start this. The only reason it's there is because you keep reliving it. All right. Now, also remember in the spirit of manifestation, once we start tuning in to negative thoughts, all right, universe is going to give us more of what it feels like is going on. You're putting so much energy into the past, you're getting that energy back. Okay. rather than running the balance. Jesus said in the Bible at one point, let the dead bury the dead. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's all over. I don't have to deal with any of it anymore. All I have to deal with is now. Okay.
Okay.
One of the things we've got here is judgment. You're not that person anymore. Thank you, Spirit. I actually was given to me earlier in a little bit when I said you're not that person anymore.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to be in suffering. You don't have to be in pain. That's a choice. This is that step into that higher conscious for you to be able to deal with it and to see spirit, angels, guides all helping you into enlightenment, and you can enjoy a brighter and fuller today. All right. We've got the two of coins. One of the things that I'm being told here is even in the juggling, this dude looks happy. Okay. It actually looks crazy to me. Okay. But what I want you to see is sometimes I think you and I talked about getting so busy, we
Uh-huh.
forget to take our time
Yes.
to readjust. And then all of a sudden, in this busy time, negative thoughts start coming in because we're unprotected. We're not grounded. All right. Notice here, he's juggling, he's moving.
Yep. That's
Not
happening
very
right
good.
now.
Okay.
I'm busy again.
Okay. And guess what? That's where it starts getting your brain starts playing with you. Okay. And you have to reprogram it. One of the things I can do, I can give you some different exercises to do or things like that. But these affirmations start with breathing, regulated breathing. When you start getting busy and these things start happening, here's what I want you to start with. And then I've got a whole series. I'll do a series on this too. All right. Breathe, just stop, completely stop. I don't care if you're in the middle of Walmart. I don't care if you just don't close your eyes on the freeway. Okay.
Okay.
But sometimes if we need to pull over or whatnot, stop. Breathe in through your nose. Okay. 5 seconds. Hold it for 2 or 3, whatever you pick. Okay. But then let it out and count to 6 while you're letting that breath out. Okay. Now, then, what's happening is you're taking control of your brain. You're taking control of your automatic nervous system, and you're making your body and your brain do things. It's like, well, I don't know why we're doing this. So, what I want you to do is that thought, as you let that breath out, those thoughts are no longer necessary. I have a great life. Put it out there with power. Okay. If you can, at that same point, clap to it. All right. We're putting physical action to new ideas. So our brain is now really focusing on where you want to trigger it. It takes a while. I have used this very successfully with addicts at their trigger points. So once you realize it, because what happens, the thought's there, you don't feel it coming, so you can block it. All of a sudden, the thought is there. Once you realize that thought's there, we have to start replacing that thought. Get grounded again. Okay. Using this little technique, things like that. There are other things we can do. All right. But that's going to help you get grounded. That's going to help you start replacing those thoughts with something more positive. And you're actually telling your brain now instead of your brain telling you. Okay. Does that make
I
sense?
understand. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. The chariot. Focus. Stop being so focused on the past. Okay. Focus what's here, what's now, how wonderful your life is, things that have gotten better for you, things that you would never get back, saying fine, but it's up to you to take control of this. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You have to be in control of what you're staying focused on. And finally, we have the 3 of Wands. You know what you need? You need to be patient with yourself. The 3 of
There's that
Wands.
patience again.
There we go. Okay.
You know, I have none.
Well, you do, but you got to find it. Okay.
Yeah.
And that takes practice. Now, here's what I'm saying you're doing the right things. You've taken action with the calendar, with the schedule, some things you and I have talked about. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You're putting things out there. All right. Now, then, This is time in some of these actions where it's time for you to sit back and let the ship come in. Okay. With gratitude and know, hey, I've put the right things out there. I'm going to reap rewards for this one way or another, and say it out loud. Okay. This will help you get through these moments. Okay. Of I don't fit, I don't belong. Think about it. What
Okay.
would you when you talk to children, when we talk to other people, I don't fit, I don't belong. You don't have to fit.
Be your
Think
own
how many
person.
places I don't fit.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the problem. I don't care. I'll be nice to everybody or whatnot. But at this point, you need to understand, all right, that it's time. I am who I am.
Mhm.
You know, I just channeled Popeye. I am what I am. You know,
Uh,
it's, that's one of those things, though, that you really need to understand that that's where you're at. Instead of saying, I don't belong, you know what? Now embrace it and say, you're right. I don't belong. I am Cynthia. All right. It takes a lot to deal with the fullness of me. Okay. Own it. Own being different and realize nobody cares. Nobody cares.
they
All
really
right.
don't.
They
It's
really
just
don't.
no. It's just the lifetime that I've had will just sneak up on me sometimes. It'll
Yep.
just blindside me, and it's I'm stunned by it and in a funk for a few days. I dream about it. I think about it. I don't say anything about it. I mean, I just kind of wait for it to pass, but I have to control it. I understand.
And that's it. And a lot of times that's happening when you're not grounded, when you're not
Right.
in that close connection. We've left spirit out. I guarantee you some of that's happened when we've gotten up. We haven't said, good morning, spirit. Good morning,
Yes.
angels. Good morning. Hey, I'm here. I'm going outside. Reverend Rob said I got to go listen to the birds for 5 minutes. Everybody put their crap on hold. Okay. And once we stop being grounded, that's where all this other stuff can come in and the mindset. So when you
Yeah, it's
start having,
chaos.
yes, and when you don't like what your brain is thinking, okay, you have to work to change it. All right.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's very hard. But that's what I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I thank you very much.
You are welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much.
Yep. We'll talk to you next time.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Talk to you next time. Bye-bye. All right. Wow. Okay. Have y'all ever felt like that? Anybody else ever felt that way? Felt that feeling of, I just don't belong. And we feel like we need to belong. Well, remember what you tell your kids about peer pressure. You know, we worry about our children with peer pressure. Why are we dealing with peer pressure? So the next time you pop up and tell your child, hey, wait a minute, it doesn't matter what they say. You've got to make choices. Guess what? So do you. And we have to show them and see what's happening. Okay. So you can find out and show them this is how I deal with it. Own it. You know what? That happens to me too. I feel like I don't belong. So sometimes I get a little dumpy or whatnot. I'm going through that. But here's what I found out I can do. All right. Is to remind myself, I don't need to blend in. All right. I don't. And go through steps about how you change that thought process. Now, this is not talking about when a child complains of active bullying, you need to investigate and find out what's going on. Okay. So that's what I've got. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's going. Okay. So do we have anything going on out here? I've been with some of my people and thank you guys for coming in. I love it when you all come in on the channel. Let's see. Does my crush like me? Shub who? I'm going to tell you. I got no clue. I don't read people. I'm not mad at you. Okay. I don't read people without their permission. It's rude. It's like him peeking into your diary or something like that. What this is talking about your need to carry on an actual relationship so you can find out what's going on. We all want to leave dating and we don't like dating. Everybody hates dating because guess what? We've become a TikTok society in everything. Okay. And in that, that's even with our relationships. I want to cut to the chase. Tell me if I'm going to marry a rich guy. Tell me if I'm going to be happy. Tell me I get these questions all the time. Okay. It's your life. Form it. And one of the things you need to know and one of the things you need to work on is being able to have a conversation with him. Okay. And find out if he's talking to you, chances are he likes you. Okay. Think about it. Reach out. Talk to him. You need to open up communication on your end. Okay. So one of the things I'm picking up here is the Hierophant. Okay. For you, Shabu, and this is stay within the rules and the laws. Keep to an original text. Don't be looking for shortcuts. All right. You need to, as far as a relationship goes, you need to stay within your parameter, within traditions, and not be trying to color outside the lines too much. You know what? I'm going to pull one more. The 6 of coins. You will find what you're looking for. Okay. But make sure it's really what you need. Okay. Somebody may need to help you. You may need to help somebody else. All right. It's a give and take. All right. So open up, have the conversation, find out what's going on, and that will be what happens. All right. Subhu, I'm not intentionally mispronouncing your name, Shabu. I'm wanting to make sure because I respect names wholeheartedly. So there we go. Let's find out where we're going here. All right. Anybody else? Anything? Gillian's helping me. I saw something. Let me go to Samantha here. I would like to know if I will be having happiness with a partner in the future. Could that help me to heal? Generally, Samantha, what you have to look at is you have to heal. You're codependent. That statement, I want you to think about it in itself, is a codependent statement. I need somebody else so I can heal. That's not the way it works. You want that person that's going to be at your side that spirit gave you. You need to work on your healing and how to go. So let's take a look at that. All right. There's a message in there. All right. And I am going to ask Spirit to help us with that. So let's bring that up. Okay. Spirit gave me that thought. Okay. About you've got to heal yourself. All right. It's not, if you can't learn to heal yourself when something else happens, you can't be dependent on somebody else for your happiness, for your joy. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. All right. What does Samantha Campos? A lot of people don't like my romance readings because it starts with you. And you know who I had to learn that? I learned it the hard way. Okay. To find joy and who I am and what's going on. So we have the 3 of Swords. Here we go. There's past trauma that you must deal with. You can't bring that into a relationship and expect the other person to deal with it. You need to deal with it. All right. So you can be healed. You can move on. You can go through a new relationship. You can date. You can find out what's going on. Oh, this is too much. This is it. Maybe there's time that's needed, time and space, because swords are air. But look at all the water that's underneath here. What's going on is this past trauma is stopping you from healing. Your emotions, your subconscious is actually screwing with your brain. All right. And that's fear. And you know what? It's natural. Don't feel bad about feeling fear. You got hurt, something else, but you don't, that old saying, nothing makes you feel better like getting under the new person. Guess what? That's crap. Okay. That is physical pleasure that's fleeting. All right. What happened? Do you need to deal with it? Do you need to talk with somebody? Okay. But it's time for this Three of Swords to be dealt with and deal with this trauma and stop looking for other people. You have to pull up your bootstraps, as we say, and then say, you know what? I have to deal with this. I can't be that negative Nelly. I can't be the Eeyore that walks into a crowd and it's like, well, I just don't trust anybody or anything else. Sweetie, you don't have that right. That's not what we're supposed to do. Okay. You have to say, you know what? I got hurt. You're right. He hurt me. She hurt me, however it is. But I have to I have to deal with it and realize there's somebody else standing out here. All right. That I can find. But you can't find this other person. Okay. Until you've dealt with the healing. It's called a plan. It's called looking at what's going on. This Two of Wands is passionate. Think about this. We have the Two, which is about relationships. Okay. You do need to understand that in order to meet this person, you have to stand alone for a while and plan your life, not about who you're going to be with. Where do you want to go? What's your life going to be? Once you start doing that and you start doing the things that you like to do, guess what? You'll run into somebody doing the things you like to do. All right. Instead of you chasing them because you're trying to make that feel better. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right. It is. It's building a plan. Look here, what we have back here, Temperance. We are meant to go through these trials and tribulations. Everybody's like, what? That's why we're here, is to learn how to deal with this. Good and bad are going to happen to us throughout our life. How often are we going to call on somebody else to take care of us? Are there times we need to do that? Absolutely. Okay. Thus the Five of Coins. All right. But then we need to give back. All right. And this is time to say in this 14, in this Temperance, it's time to find balance between the water, look here, all right, and between solid ground, so you cannot allow your emotions to run your life. This is going to be huge. That's the big thing I have for you. Okay. So that's the spirit message that we have. And wow, I'd love to work with you if you need to. Click on the link in the description below, set up a session, and I'll be glad to work with you through that, because I do feel like there is some trauma here that is really causing more of the issue, and we have some undealt with trauma. Okay. And that's not up to somebody else. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope so. Let me know. Okay. And we'll find out what's going on. All right. I love all the applause. That's cool. Thank you. Okay. Welcome to our tribe. Samantha, we want you here. Okay. Come here. When you're feeling low, come talk to us. We'll help you. Okay. That's part of being the tribe. One of the things I said, and I want to do this now, and I forgot, I said, Cynthia, we're going to say a prayer for Cynthia. I want you to say a prayer for Samantha, Cynthia, Deborah, everybody that's out there, okay, in our tribe, because we're all dealing with some type of trauma. We're all dealing with becoming who we are, how we fit in, where do we go. So do me a favor. When everybody's kind of just start breathing in, you can do deep breaths through the mouth, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the mouth, however you want it. But we need this. Hold it. Release it. Feel the energy starting to form. Spirit, I want to send healing energy to everyone right now that is listening to this broadcast tonight or tomorrow. It doesn't matter. If they're in earshot of this broadcast, somebody needs help. I'm saying send to the angels. I'm demanding that we send our angels out tonight. They're going to be busy. It's a Friday night. They're always busy. Okay. Listen to the guides. Help people be calm. And what I'm saying is Let them feel your presence. Folks, understand, Spirit didn't go anywhere. Spirit's right there. Angels are coming. I feel it. Know it. Call out to it. Claim it. And feel right now the energy as it surges. Your face might feel hot. You're going to feel like tingling. Things are happening, crawling over. It can happen in your feet or whatnot. But this is Spirit saying, I got you. I've got you. Let me help you. Everyone, take this time. Know that you have a higher power, whatever that is to you, whether it's your own consciousness or whether it is an absolute, the spirit of the universe, the power of this universe, the mother, the goddess. Claim it and just know this too shall pass. So mote it be. Wow. Okay. Whoo, that was heavy. That was heavy. Wow. Give me a second. Another sip of coffee after that prayer. Thank you, Spirit. I hope everybody felt that. And let's see what's going on. All right. So let's see where we're going. Taking a quick look. Is there anything else we have down here? I don't think so. Okay. Donis, here we go. Where is that one? Okay, Donis, Rev Rob. Where would I start to get to the truth of who I am? This is fantastic. Okay. Sit down, meditate, write, use automatic writing. One of the things I want you to do is start putting on paper. When I say, who am I? Take out the roles of mother, father, daughter, things like that. And I want you to look deep into where your spirit wants to be. What are you doing when you feel fulfilled? When you feel content? Okay. It's why I love doing what I do. Okay. I am a guide. I am a teacher. All right. That's what I am. That is who I am. Of course, I'm a father. Okay. I've been a police officer as a protector. I've gone through countless call centers doing things, been around the world doing different things for them. Okay. One of the things they used to call me, one time they called me the Terminator because once I made sure you had the knowledge and you didn't, okay, you were gone. That was just my job. But it was very important to me that we weren't just terminating people willy-nilly, that they had the knowledge and had been taught properly to do the job. There's my protector. There's my instruction. Okay. I also went to work. They hired me and brought me into a medical collections place. Okay. Everybody loves them. And we collected so much money, I actually set with my team a world record for that office. All right. You know what they called me? Oh, here comes Mr. Nice Guy. Be nice. These people were sick. They had a problem. I've been to where I didn't have money to pay my doctor bills. I don't need somebody making it worse, rubbing my face in it. All right. I know I'm a caring person. I'm a guide. I help people. I spent more time on the phone. I actually talked a lady through, she was sick from a chemo treatment. Okay. And I just stayed on the phone with her. Told her, don't worry about your bill right now. Can I call your husband? Do this. She got up from vomiting and paid her whole bill on a credit card. Donis, this is how you find out who you are. Okay? Because you may think you know. All right? But that's how you find out. Where does my heart find joy? What am I doing when I find peace and contentment? Not what do I want to do? All right? When I feel joy, peace, and contentment, what am I doing? What have I done when I felt it? And you might find yourself hinting all around it. Okay. What I've got here for you is the judgment. Knowing who you are, coffee, excuse me, knowing who you are is going to be key to that stepping through to enlightenment. That's addressed to all of us. All right. We don't want to keep going, then we have to start doing that thing of which we were brought here to do, or that's our calling, whatever it is. Who are you? Where are you serving other people that make you feel good and you don't care? Okay. That's just it. So, this is how you find that next step to actual enlightenment, because you're leaving the old you behind. All right. And diving directly into this is who I am. You know what? We have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups. I call this my grief card. We keep focusing on things that we've lost, and we forget to give thanks for the things that we have. We look at what's wrong instead of what's right. What were you doing the last time you felt right? Bangarang. There we go. All right. Whoo. Thank you, Spirit. I love it. Wow. Wow. Okay. Whoo. That one came over me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's see what's happening. Bruce Kaler. Hi, Sandra. If he does not get to you this time, come in Monday and be here early. Yes, absolutely. You can always put people come in and they put things in early. Get ahead of the game, and that will be the thing. But this is what's going on. So I'm glad I got to you, Samantha. Thank you, Mr. Bruce. I appreciate it, and welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's see where we're going here. Find out what's happening. Can I get a message from Spirit? Stacy. Yes, let's see what's going on, Stacy. Let's bring this up. Fire this bad boy back off. Get this Friday and this weekend kicked off for you. Stacy. Wow. Okay. See, I'm kind of behind. Y'all just have to be patient. I can't guarantee everybody reading. I just do what I do. Okay. On Friday nights, if you come on camera with me, you will get a reading. Okay. And you will get, as you saw, a more in-depth reading. If not, then I've got to do this and deal with it and get to you. Monday nights, I try to go right through. So be in early, like Mr. Bruce said, get your question in, and let's find out what's going on. Okay. So, Stacy, here we go. Can I get a message from Spirit? Spirit? All right. There's something in communication. I keep lifting my hat, and now it just really hit me. Okay. There's something with communication. All right. And the way, something about the way you're thinking about something. Okay. This is very important. So here we go. All right. Your first card, the Tower. All right. Hell of a first card. All right. Change is coming. Something's happening, or you're in the throes of change. All right. Now, what I want you to understand, we have the 1 and the 6. 1, new beginnings. Change a lot of times is the catalyst for something new to begin. And 6 is actually breaking through and becoming victorious. Now, how do you become victorious through change? One of the things is the way you deal with it. How do you handle it? What do you see? These things are happening. We have justice. All right. Make sure this is my karma card. This is the bangarang card. This is whatever's going on. Remember, what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. Justice is here to say, I will help you through this change. I will help you through anything that's going on. But you have to put your best foot forward. And remember, if we come at it with bad thoughts, bad ideas, anger, that's what gets returned, okay? And makes this change to be harder to get through, okay? So how you deal with the change is going to be exactly how this happens and what shapes in your near future. We have the Ace of Swords. There's that concept. You know, something new is going on in your life, okay, that you're going to have to change the way you think, okay? Something mentally is coming to an end. When I see the tower coupled with the ace of anything, okay, what I'm really picking up here is something's changing and we're fixing to start over. So there's something in the way you've been thinking, a thought process or whatnot, or even communication, all right, Stacy, that is there saying, okay, you're going to be fine. You get through this. All right. Put your best foot forward. Remember, don't put badness out there. All right. Number two, look at the problem from a different angle. Okay. This is fixing to shift the way you see. I'm really picking up, see somebody. Yeah, 7 of Wands. Okay. It's okay to stand up for yourself. All right. But you need to keep your brain about you. All right. That's what I got. Okay. That's what I got. You got some stuff coming up. Things are going to be okay. Things are going to change. Things always change. All right. But how you deal with that change is going to actually determine, okay, how hard or how easy this change is for you. Okay. That makes sense? Wow. Banger. Okay. Gillian, help me out. If there's any more here, I appreciate it. Let's find out. A lot of people came in. I love it. Rob, can I ask a question? Absolutely, Wolf. Bring it on. Bring it on, brother. What's your question? All right. And you are welcome, Stacy. You are quite welcome. You know, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. I felt very powerful in that. And we'll see what's going on. Let's see what's happening. All right. Good. I'm glad. That makes me sense. All right. The tower on the card looks like a Mortal Kombat tower. Okay. All right. Is there more to that question or whatnot? Could be. The illustrator may have a D&D background, okay, or be a gamer, and they can use images that struck them or whatnot. Now, what you have to remember about Mortal Kombat is it's combat. And it's the tower. It's change. So think about that. If we're in a tower that's been struck, all right, all our plans go on hold and we have to deal with it. In Mortal Kombat, you had to deal with some type of opponent one way or the other. And there are certain things we have to deal with. And I saw that in that 7 card. And that's a good call and a correlation with the Mortal Kombat tower. All right. There are times you have to stand up to people and it's okay to defend yourself. All right. It's just that way. You know, Jesus said we should always try to turn the other cheek. Okay. He didn't in the temple, did he? He drove those suckers out for being money changers in the holy place. All right. Wasn't much cheek turning there. Well, they just don't understand. Okay. No, he got PO'd. I don't know if it's right to use Jesus and pissed in the same term, but he knows my heart. Okay. There are times we do have to stand up and be counted. All right. That's what's going on. Okay. You know, Stacy, I'm trying to start over. You know, that's where we go. If you'd like some more help, please come back on Monday. Folks, we are working on how to get everybody the subscribers. There's a way to get a Zoom link. I want to do a Zoom with everybody so we can do longer, more in detailed readings. Again, I can't guarantee everybody a reading, but we can try, and we're going to do it on Zoom, and I'll record that. It won't be live. We'll record it. You don't have to put your face on camera, but that way I can hear your voice. Okay. Get more energy from it that way. And then we'll put that out for everybody to see later on. So yeah, I'd love to help you out. You need something, hit me on a link. Okay. But I do have that coming. I'm trying to help people because I know everybody can't afford a reading. So let's see what we can do. All right. Let's see what's happening. Okay. I was at work today, and after work, My boss said he has to let me go because he had to cut back some of the people's hours. I need to know, was he telling me the truth or did he tell a lie? I'll tell you the quickest way to find out. Apply for unemployment. Because you are entitled to unemployment if you were laid off. If you were terminated, okay, you are not. You have to contest it. So one of the quickest ways to find out, get right online. Almost every state does it now where you can just apply online and get that done. That's human knowledge. That's being 60 something and running businesses, baby. Okay. Nothing spiritual about that. But let's ask. Okay. Let's find out. All right. You know, let's go here. I'm going to pick up this. You know what? I can't pick that one up. It's not letting me. So obviously I'm supposed to be using this one. Okay. Spirit, pendulum, will you work with me? Absolutely. Do you need cleaning? Nope. All right. Wolf was let go at work today, and he was told that he was basically laid off. Financial things. All right. Was that true? What the boss told him? Pendulum and everything is in spirit is giving me yes, that was true. That it was something that's going on, and it's happening across the country right now. Let's pull a couple of cards real quick, Wolf, and see what's going on, and I'll find out what Spirit has to say about this. Okay. All right. Spirit, help me with this. Help Wolf understand it and know what's going on. All right. Some understanding is key here. All right. There we go. The Fool. Time for a new journey. Okay. Things are happening. Things are going. There is loyalty. When I see this dog and I see him happy, there's nothing to be sad about. You have a new journey that's starting. Okay. And you have to be aware of that. All right. We have the Empress. Time to grow. Things are growing. And you know what? When we grow something, sometimes we got to prune the bushes. All right. And that happens in corporate. We have two major arcana cards. All right. And what we'll notice here, there's only two cards separating them. All right. The Fool, taking a journey. There is some loyalty. Be happy about it. You don't have to worry about it. Pick up your stuff and go. Empress is it's time to grow something new. The new things are coming. Be prepared and be creative. Be ready to answer. Two of Wands. Start making your plans. Okay. Don't just blindly start throwing out resumes and wind up in a hamster wheel job. We've talked about this before. Not you and I will, but you've heard me talk about it. Okay. Make sure you're starting this journey with a purpose and where you want to go in mind. Bang. Okay. That's what I got for you. All right. Love to hear more about what's happening. Keep us posted on that story and see let us know what's shaking. Okay. All right. It can be a scary time when you lose your job. You know, everybody here would agree. So let's make sure, you know, that all of this, let's see what's going on. All right. So I see that is my final reading for tonight. I want to say thank you to everybody. Remind everybody, click in the links below. There's all stuff from me, from Gillian. There's stuff from Laura, some great courses you can take and different things like that. Make sure you're clicking that link down below. All right. That's going to be huge. You know what? You're welcome, Wolf. You're welcome. Been there, done that, brother. Got you. Know that feeling. You're going to be okay, though. Okay. Just make sure you're not just accepting everything willy-nilly. That's what I'm getting. Something good's coming. Okay. So, everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life for an hour or so. All right. It means the world to me. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody have an awesome weekend. And just remember, take what you want, leave what you don't, but leave having experienced some peace, love, and light. Banger.